Hello and welcome to this week's Gems of War Guild Event Planner. I am Guardian Namek, Guild Leader of Loot and Plunder, and this week's focus is the Journey event, where we are using Yellow Wildfolk. And after running some numbers, here are the units you want to use. This is the team I plan on using. I'm going to be using Luna. I was debating on using the Blade Dancer, but decided I think I'll get more damage out of Luna, at the very least at the start. Then I'm going to be using the Festival Staff as a weapon. It gets to create red and green gems and enchant 2 random allies. And then it also gets to enchant itself and also give 2 mana to all yellow allies. So it's actually pretty decent this time around. I'm then going to use the Lupina Explorer, who gets to do some damage and then also destroy a row and a column. So some pretty decent damage and also mana generation. Everyone should be using Sarah Ash Song, as she is the Journey unit for this week's Journey event. And so you get bonus points by using her and having her traded out. And she gets to do Journey character stuff, deal damage boosted and then create gems boosted by whatever, in this case Wildfolk. Now there are some other options to use when it comes to damage. You can utilize the Blade Dancer as an early hit unit, as it'll be able to do a considerable amount of damage versus enemies when doing the first or maybe even second hit against a group of enemies, as their damage is boosted by their enemy armor. And so it's pretty good for the first 2 hits, but as you are just doing normal damage, that armor is going to get whittled away, and he's an okay unit. He's not really that good, but he's okay, so he gets to do some damage. You can also use the Satyr Musician, as they get to do some decent damage, and silence. That's its biggest thing, is that it also gets to silence the enemies, so not the best damage. There's a lot of options for damage, actually not that many. Most of them are like the Lupina Explorer or Silas, who gets to do some splash damage. Or do the same amount of damage with Satyr Musician and also silence them. So, damage side of things, you got a lot of mid units, but the Satyr Musician at least gets to do silence along with some damage. But I think the best damage will be Luna, as they get to do an AoE. Also debuff or buff. Very nice. Or potential. Now for mana generation, there's 2 options. There's not really that many that are notably good. The Lupina Explorer because of the destroy. And then the other option for some good mana generation is Sledgepaw. He gets to destroy a 5x5, which does generate more mana than the destroying a row and a column, but the Lupina Explorer has 2 advantages. 1, they also get to do some damage, and 2, they are Pan's Veil, and so that way you get a stronger Pan's Veil team buff. And then the others and durability characters, the Lupina Knight initially was going to be one of the weakest characters, one of the don't use this character, but after adding in the effects of status effects or buffs, and then averaging them for the random status value, there is some good value with being able to give the entire team a random buff. Now there's sometimes going to be useless ones, but sometimes you'll get enchant or reflect or barrier, very useful things to have. The other option for some extra durability, or I guess mostly the option, is Vanessa, as she gets to do damage to an enemy based off of their attack. So basically, getting the enemy to punch themselves instead of their neighbors. And then also she gets to heal the allies a good amount of health, and then also boosted by the damage dealt. So you get to do a pretty good amount of healing Especially it scales fairly well, not perfectly, but fairly well. As enemies become more difficult, you can keep up the healing to like, nope, we're keeping everyone healed from those punches. But only if you need a durability. I hope this info was helpful for both starting and veteran players at Gems of War. If it was helpful to you, give that subscribe button a click and hit the like button, as I plan on doing these every Monday, both to help my guild and for fun. Until next week, have fun plundering.